If you can nod your head, that way I know you kind of see it. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so, oh, shoot. So we're gonna look at some logic problems right now. If you got your package already, you should see a couple logic problems already. And you should have a sheet already with you with this list of logic problems. And I'm just gonna kind of give these to you, and you guys can take the next little bit to either you guys can unmute and ask questions, you can chat me. I'm not gonna force you to do anything that you don't wanna do. So if you wanna chat me, if that's what you feel more comfortable with, if you have questions, or if you wanna unmute, I'm here to help you with it. But let's start with the first logic problem, which is the duck problem. And what I suggest, because I had to do it as well, is just get a piece of paper. If you have the sheet, you also should have whiteboard markers, and you can literally write on it. So if that helps you, you can write it directly on it. And if you mess up, just get a tissue and wipe it away, and it can go away really easy. And just do it that way, where we can start off with the duck problem, and just start drawing it out. It took me just a bit, so if you have any questions, go ahead, and we can get started with that. And if you have the answer, go ahead and chat me with that so I can kind of let people know where we're at. What I did when I looked at 1 and 2, by the way, is I saw that 1 and 2 were definitely on the easier side of a level, but it quickly gets a little harder. So don't be discouraged if it gets a little tough towards the third problem.
I would read the problem so that we're all working on the same problem.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So again, we're on the first one, which is there are 2 ducks in front of a duck, 2 ducks behind a duck, and a duck in the middle. How many ducks are there? So if you think you have the answer, you're more than welcome to go ahead and read it out loud. If you want to unmute and explain it, or if you want to chat me, I will 1000% just read it and see what you got. And I'll give you 5 minutes, probably, like around that, on this problem. And I can, if no one wants to unmute, I'm more than happy to kind of explain it. And hopefully that will help everyone. And then we can move on to the next one. Okay, is anyone willing to unmute and, or chat it? Oh, perfect. I got a couple chats. Perfect. Okay, so a lot of you are on the right track. I'm gonna kind of direct it into explaining what the kind of problem is explaining. So the way I did it was I thought of the actual ducks and thought of where there's 2 ducks in front of a duck. So imagine 3 ducks, there's 2 in front. And then imagine that there's now 2 ducks behind. So you can imagine 2 ducks behind another duck and a duck in the middle. So if you thought it through, the correct answer, as some of you got, is 3. I will explain it again. So there are 3 ducks in the first situation. So there's 2 ducks in front. So imagine this is the first duck, 2 ducks in front. There's also now a duck 2 behind. So imagine this is the duck 2 behind, and now a duck in the middle. So the answer is 3. So good job for a couple of you who sent that. And maybe if you didn't send it, you got it right. Maybe you're on the right track. Okay. So the next question is 5 people were eating apples. A finished before B, but behind C. D finished before E, but behind B. What was the finishing order? So this is another one where you might want to write it out again. It took me a bit just to write it out, erase a bit, and just order it how you think of the person who finished first to finish last. And I'll give you some time to work on that one. And again, if you want to chat, if you want to unmute, go ahead.
Slow it down. I mean, you're doing okay. The first one was fine, but now it needs to start slowing because it's getting harder and I want them to start thinking about it.
I'm unmuted by the way they can hear you. Okay, sounds good.
We're trying to send it today.
And the best way to probably figure this out if you're struggling is going sentence by sentence and seeing each letter and how they are ordering it in the sentence. So if one is before another, maybe leave space when you're organizing it so that way you have room to put another letter before it or after it. That's an easier way to figure it out. Awesome. I'm getting a couple chats. They're completely correct. So I'm going to give you a couple of probably another minute to anyone who hasn't finished yet, but I'm seeing a lot of correct answers. Does anyone by chance want to explain it if they want to unmute? If not, I am more than happy to go over what I put my reason as. Okay, so I saw all correct answers. The answer is from finishing first to last is C, A, B, D, E. So if you got that, tap and pat on your back, good job. And that's just by putting it in the order. We know that A finished in front of B, but behind C. So we know it's C, A, B. And then we know that D finished before B. So it's C, A, B, D. And then we know E is finished after D. So C, A, B, D, E. Write it out. Okay, fine. We already got it. Okay. I know. Okay.
Gotta slow down that explanation, honey.
Okay. So the next one, this one's going to be a little bit of a tougher one. So I'm definitely going to give you some time to look over this and break it down. So a man has 53 socks in his drawer, 21 identical blue, 15 identical black, and 17 identical red. The lights are out and he's completely in the dark. How many socks must it take? How many socks should he take out to make 100% certain he has at least one pair of black socks? So this focuses more on addition and probability. I recommend thinking worst case scenario and thinking that he has to have completely black socks in this mix. So think about mathematically wise, how would you ensure worst case that he would only have black socks in this drawer? And if you think you have the answer, you're more than welcome to chat me. I noticed when a couple people chatted, it was towards everyone. Try and do it directly towards me if you know how to do a direct message. There's the little blue tab and you can click down and make sure it's towards me. That way we can let everyone figure it out. But no matter what, if you can figure this one out, this one does take a little bit of brain work. And again, if you think you have the answer, feel free to chat it. And remember, we're focusing on the black socks. So make sure to read that. And I have some people chatting me some numbers, and I am just going to let you know if you're close to it, if you overshot it, if you're a little under. So feel free to chat me with that, and I can let you know if you're close.
It's very easy. they're not pairs of socks, they're individual socks. That's what confused the heck out of me. So you might want to talk them through that.
Okay, I will explain that.
Because I always put my socks together.
So I'm going to quickly explain one more concept of it because this one is a very difficult question. Remember that this is asking for individual socks when we're talking about them. So 100 individual socks, or not 100, my fault, but these are individual socks that are colored, but we're looking for one pair, which is 2 socks in the end. So if that helps just a bit, remember that these are individual and later we're looking for a pair.
No, you need not pairs of socks. Mom, they're getting it, please. Okay. I'm done.
I'm going to give you one more minute and then I will explain this problem with you. We do have some correct answers, so great job. Awesome. So to anyone who is finishing up or waiting for the answer was 40 socks. So give you a pat on the back if you got that right. We got many 40s, so great job. I will go through how we got that step by step. So we take the big numbers, which is the 20 blue socks. So we're going to, 21 blue socks. So we're taking 21. Now we're going to take the 17 red and we're going to add those together. Like I said before, in the beginning of this is more of an addition. So in the worst case scenario, when we are wanting to make 100% sure that this is just the black socks, we're going to take out 21 socks because that counts for the blue socks. And now we're taking out 17 and that counts for the red socks. So by adding those together, 21 plus 17, we get 38. Now the tricky part, which I will admit I almost forgot in the end too, so I'm very happy that a lot of you got that, is that we're looking for a pair. Now it's very easy to forget we're looking for a pair because one pair is 2. When I originally did this, I got 39 because I forgot we had to do this. You have to take 2 socks at the end to ensure you have pulled a pair of black socks. I'll go through that one more time because that was a little confusing. 21 blue, because that's just the blue socks. 17 red, and we're adding that together to count for taking out those socks from the drawer, which equals 38. And now we're looking for the last pair of black socks, which is taking 2 more. So 21 plus 17 plus 2 equals 40. So good job to anyone who got that one. That was really good. Okay, this next one, I'm gonna admit, very, very tough. But if you work through it, I'm gonna help you and give you a couple hints to get through this one. So this next one is the day before, 2 days after, the day before tomorrow is Saturday. What day is it today? Just reading that, your head probably would go a little funky. I read it the first time and I couldn't get through that. So let's split it up. I recommend if you are using the whiteboard marker or if it's a pencil you're using, cut the sentences off. It makes it much easier to read. So I cut it off as the day before, 2 days after. Cut. That's the first sentence you should look at. The day before, 2 days after. Now think about a week or think about days. What does that equal in your mind? What is a day before, 2 days after? I'll give you time to think and maybe think about what that means hypothetically through days. And while you're writing that down, the next break in the sentence I suggest you look at is the day before tomorrow. Again, what would you think in a week or in day wise? What would the day before tomorrow equal? And for clarification, I'm not looking for this specific answer currently as like a day right now because I'm giving you the hypothetical. Just think about, is it 2 days? Is it 3 days? Was it yesterday? What does this sentence equal? Because it's a little confusing, wordy. And again, if you have any personal questions, please chat me. If you think you already have it, you're more than welcome to chat me that. Okay, so I'm going to help eliminate some of the confusion. Now, if you want to write this down, I highly suggest it to make it easier. The day before, 2 days after. What does that mean theoretically? The day before, 2 days after equals tomorrow, because 2 days after and 1 day before and pretending it's present day would be tomorrow. And the day before tomorrow, which is the other part I told you to look at, is today. So if that is in the context now that you know we're looking at, the first part is just tomorrow, the second part is today, and adding on the last part is Saturday, what can we eliminate from the sentence to make it a little easier? If we reduce the sentence down to one of the simplest words we can, what would that equal and what would that answer give? Great job, Naomi, you got it. Sorry if you guys hear so much typing. I'm just trying to respond to all of you guys. Now I'm going to explain it a little further before giving the answer. We do have a lot of people who have the answer, so hold on to that. Again, the day before 2 days after equals tomorrow. The day before tomorrow is today. So my question now to you, if we simplify it, is what is the day before tomorrow? And if we look at in the context of the sentence, tomorrow is Saturday. So if that helps it simplify it as much as you can, see if you have the answer now. I'll give you another couple minutes. I see some people are finishing up right now. Okay, I hope everyone at least has an answer in their head, whether you chatted to me or not. Now I'm going to give the answer, pat on the back for anyone who got Friday. Awesome. So let me explain as why Friday is the answer in this context. So Friday, the day before tomorrow, like I said, is today. And the day before 2 days after tomorrow, the day before 2 days after equals tomorrow. Like I said, if you can simplify it, the day before tomorrow is Saturday in this case. So Saturday is tomorrow. And if we think about the week, what is the day before Saturday? Friday. So if that's how you process it, or that's how you eliminate some of the days of the week, and that's how you figured out it was Friday, pat on the back, great job. The last one is not really mathematics, more of just a fun logic thinking problem. You're on a fork in the road in which one direction leads to the city of lies, where everyone lies, and the other to the city of truth, where everyone always tells the truth. There's a person at the fork who lives in one of the cities, but you're not sure which one. What question can you ask the person to find out which road leads to the city of truth? This is a very well-known question. A lot of people have heard this in different forms. So if you were to go up to this person and you want to ensure you end up in the city of truth, start thinking of some questions you can ask to ensure you make it. This is indeed some out of the box thinking, and it took me a while to get it, so it's okay if it takes you a bit. And I want to give some clarification. For this one, it's not a yes or no answer. So you're not going to ask them a yes or no question. You're going to ask them something where they have to show you, if they have to say something, there's sentences with it. It's not a yes or no answer. And if you have an answer, you're more than welcome to go ahead and chat it to me again. We are towards the end of this this session with the logic puzzle. So if you haven't chatted me yet, go ahead and reach out. You can chat me and we can keep that up. I love how many people are chatting me right now.
Get on one more page.
Dave said no.
Really? I was gonna say maybe do one more. No, okay. We're really over time. Because if you're getting that good response.
We have some correct answers in the chat. Now, I realize I don't think I explained one part of this a little carefully because now I'm reading over and I see a consistent thing with the chat. Make sure when you think about this, you might encounter the liar. So if you say which road leads somewhere, maybe think about there's a chance that they're going to say this path is the correct path, but it's not the correct one. So if you encounter the liar, I'm going to give an example. If you encounter the liar and you ask them which road leads to the city of truth, they might say this road leads to the truth, but it might not be the truth because they're lying. So think of it just a little bit differently, because I'm realizing I definitely didn't catch that in time for some people. But you are on the, all of you are on the right track for asking which one leads to the city of truth. That was the most consistent answer. So think it one more time.
Send them other puzzles, and if they want to fill them out over the week, snapshot them, send them to you. We may send out some prizes. Thank you. You did great.
And for the sake of time, because I definitely went over the time I was given, I'm going to go ahead and answer it and let you guys think about it before we end. So the correct answer, or the answer that I was given, is which direction do you live? That's the question you ask. Which direction do you live? So someone from the city of lies will lie and point to the city of truth. But if you encounter the truthful person, they will point to their truthful place, which is the city of truth. So the correct answer is which direction do you live? That way you can make sure you go to the correct one. So before we wrap up, I'm going to say a couple conclusion things. Number one, I don't think I introduced myself yet. Some of you came in late. My name is Sophia Koss. Sophia. I'm 17. I'm currently in 12th grade. And I've been going to math camp and helping out for a bit for about 4 or 5 years now. And I will be here all week helping with a lot of the activities, as well as my mom and my brother and some other wonderful teachers. Most of you, I hope all of you got packages, and that's what I said in the beginning of this. Most of you should have already received your package that we sent to your addresses, with the puzzles, with all the Rubik's Cubes, the colored pencils, the protractors, everything that we gave to you is in that box. And those are all the activities we have for the week. Now, this week, this time right now was the only time I would have for logic puzzles, unless we get some other time. But I gave you guys a lot of logic puzzles. So I challenge you to go ahead and see if you can do them on your own time if you want to. And I'm going to go ahead and put my email in the chat real quick. Take a picture and send it to me. I'm more than happy to reward anyone who wants to challenge themselves and get more problems done. So if you feel up for the challenge, go ahead and get a piece of paper or write it out with the answer to any problem you have. You do not need to return anything we give you. These are yours to keep forever.